What's going on, Who Dat Nation? I encourage you, before we dive into this mailbag where we're going to be answering your questions and reacting to your hot takes, give me a follow on social media, especially on X. I've been actually running a lot of Twitter spaces recently. Every Monday evening, I've been doing a Twitter space for the last couple of weeks. Easy way for just us to hop on, talk person to person, over the phone, in front of a ton of Saints fans. We even are trying to get guys like Ross Jackson, John Hendricks, Chris Risvoglu, all of those guys. We're trying to encourage them to join the program at some point in time. I've already reached out to a lot of those guys, and they've shown interest. So if you want to give me a follow for more Saints coverage, and so that way you can interact more with not just me, but other Saints fans and content creators, give me a follow, and I'll hook you up. Kendall Taylor, we should draft the OT from Penn State. Not even reading the rest of the question, and I agree. Olu Fashanu should be the New Orleans Saints first-round pick. No question about it. No questions. Olu Fashanu should be the pick. Maybe I can get justified. Not maybe. I can be, convinced Brock Bowers, but Olu Fashanu, if he's there, that should be your pick. And then should we go T'Vondre Sweat or Keon Coleman at 45? Both really good options at 45. But for wide receiver, I would almost rather go Xavier Legette at wide receiver in round 2. It's not that I don't like the Keon Coleman idea, but I think I like Xavier Legette. Like here's Coleman, here's Legette. It's literally just that much of a difference. But I also really like the idea of going offensive line round 1 and then defensive line with T'Vondre Sweat. I think that could be a really good addition to the Saints depth chart. Really shore up the interior of the defensive line. It also gives Brian Brzee a young running mate on the defensive line as well. So I think that could be a really good move. But Kendall, appreciate you, brother. Braden, do you think we will get Marvin Harrison Jr.? No, I do not. I think he is going to be a top 5 selection. The only way I could see him maybe falling is if the first 5 picks are quarterbacks and then a bunch of other teams trade up to go get offensive linemen, and there's just no way. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be either the first or second wide receiver off the board, and I think that he doesn't even make it outside of the top 5. Go Pels! Tyler Boyd is visiting teams. Could the Saints be in the mix? So the teams in the mix, this is bad radio, but I'm going to tell you who Tyler Boyd has met with. I know he talked with the 49ers. And on the day of filming this video, which was Wednesday, April 3rd, the Buffalo Bills sent Stefon Diggs to the Texans. So the Bills might be a team that are interested. But right now, the Dolphins, Chiefs, Lions, Chargers are some of the other teams that are interested in Tyler Boyd. I could really be in on this addition, though. Tyler Boyd is a player who's, if anything, consistent. And I even did a deep dive on the fit and how productive he could be with the Saints. And when you look at the stats of his production before Jamar Chase joined the team, and then after Jamar Chase and T. Higgins joined the team, specifically Jamar, the numbers are pretty consistent. The averages are similar, the touchdowns are similar, the yardage is really close. He is a consistent player, and I think that he could be an excellent wide receiver 2/3 for New Orleans. But I want to ask you this question. Would you sign Tyler Boyd in free agency? Just give me a simple sign or a simple pass in the comment section. If you know ball, prove it by commenting down below. And while you're down there, we're in the midst of our April sub battle. We have a 2-subscriber lead on those scumbag Atlanta Falcons and Matthew Peterson over at Falcons Today by Chat Sports. But I want to kick their ass even more in the walls because that means we're going to kick their ass on the field when it matters. So subscribe today to help us out and beat the Falcons. And if that's not reason enough, daily Saints news, rumors, interactive content, and live shows almost every single day. Duff Nation, how do you feel about the Stefon Diggs trade? Seeps, I actually might ask you to mic yourself up with this because I know you're very opinionated on it, being a Vikings fan. Stefon Diggs getting traded. I personally think it's a good move for the Texans because it gives them another receiver. I don't know what the hell the Bills are doing, but what do you think, man?
I like it for both teams, actually. I think, obviously, the Texans are in a win-now state. You got a quarterback on a rookie deal, but also I like it for Buffalo. You're going to have a lot more cap space now with Diggs, being off the team, and, this opens up the opportunity for them to possibly trade for a guy like Ayuk or draft a guy in the later rounds, but I don't know. I just think Stefon Diggs can never truly be happy wherever he's at. I mean, he had Josh Allen throw him the football, playing in the playoffs, and he still had a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good move. I think this is one of those trades that both teams win. Like, I don't think one team won the trade. I think both teams, it was a good move for both teams. Would I have loved for it to come to New Orleans? Maybe. But I will say this, with the trade compensation being as light as it was, makes T. Higgins very interesting as a trade idea. Mikie Taylor, $10 super chat. Any chance you would show my newest mock draft I sent you? Mikie, you ask, you receive here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. So for the first pick that you had the Saints selecting, you went with Brock Bowers, the Georgia tight end, and then at 45, Blake Fisher, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Traded up to go get Luke McCaffrey at pick 91, a Mizzou running back Cody Schrader at 168, Tyke Smith, safety out of Georgia at 170, Traven Wallace, the linebacker out of Kentucky at 175, Jalen Green, a sneaky good player, had 15 and a half sacks last year for James Madison. I love that selection at 199. And then Drake Stoops at 202. You traded to go and get him. And then Cameron Wire, the offensive tackle out of Tulane. And then maybe one of the better names in the draft, Beanie Bishop Jr. Beanie Bishop Bayou. That could be what you call him if he ends up in New Orleans. Cornerback out of West Virginia. Mikie, I appreciate you sending me this mock draft. I like what you did. I wouldn't necessarily gone running back as early as you, but I can see why you would want to go that route. But I love the Jalen Green selection. I love the Brock Bowers selection. Luke McCaffrey, I think, was a really good pick as well. So, Mikie, I appreciate you for sending in your mock draft. Another reason to follow me on social media, you can send me your mock draft roundups. Really quick reminder before we get back to your questions, I want you to download the Game Time app, plug in the promo code ChatSports when it gives you the option to redeem a code. Because if you type in CHATSPORTS, you get $20 off your first purchase. And why I love the Game Time app, it's the best seats, lowest price, guaranteed. And they have deals where the prices drop as the event gets closer. And on top of that, just a bigger reason to love it, they have flash deals, they have zone deals, and you can know when there's stadium promos going on. You see it in that middle picture, Lakers at Pelicans. They're giving away a Pelicans flag that game. So if you download the Game Time app, you can know when you can also go and get some free stuff just for buying a ticket. But you can get stuff for sporting events, any live shows, any sort of comedy shows, theater, concerts, whatever. Just download the Game Time app, use promo code ChatSports for $20 off. Terms do apply. Download the app. It's Game Time. Use code ChatSports, $20 off. The last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, Mike Evans' daddy. Great name, even better picture. Got to try out to pull off a Budda Baker trade. I don't know. I could be in. I could be in on a Budda Baker trade, actually. So, shout out producer Steve's, best in the business. The production last year, kind of limited, kind of underwhelming as well. But 2022, this guy had over 100 tackles. 1 tackle for loss, 7 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. Like, I think that this could be a good move to bring in alongside Tyrann Mathieu. Because at that point, you do really have 2 of the better safety or veteran safeties in the NFL holding it down for you in the black and gold. And I think that that could be a really beneficial thing for New Orleans. However, I just don't know what the trade compensation would look like. And to be honest, I'm not really interested in selling the farm to go and bring in a guy who, was really good at one point in time. And for us Saints fans, our biggest memory of the guy is the video of him diving after Andy Dalton threw another pick 6 in slow-mo on Thursday Night Football. So, I wouldn't hate Budda Baker as a trade option, but I'm not going to sell the farm. If you can go get him for cheap, sure, why not? All right, Kendall Taylor, back to you, my man. What wide receiver would you rather sign, Tyler Boyd, OBJ, or Hunter Renfrow? You son of a gun, Kendall. You son of a gun. I don't want OBJ. But Tyler Boyd, Hunter Renfrow, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one, actually. Hunter Renfrow has the familiarity and chemistry with Derek Carr, has had a really good production when Carr was his quarterback. Third and Renfrow is a thing. But Tyler Boyd is a really good player too. He's a quality wide receiver, and I think that he could add an element to the Saints offense that it's missing. And I also think that Tyler Boyd could be a good culture fit for New Orleans. Man, I don't know. I'm going to go Tyler Boyd. I'm going to go Tyler Boyd. But Hunter Renfrow is a very close second. In the comment section, I want you guys to let me know. Would you go Tyler Boyd, OBJ, or Hunter Renfrow? Saints Josh fan, last couple questions. How do you feel about the upcoming season? Where do you think we are placing? So I think that this team is a 10-win team. I think with Clint Kubiak coming in, you can add at least one win. I think this is a realistic double-digit win team. I don't think winning the division is out of the question. But I also do think that the Falcons have made a lot of really good moves to improve their roster tremendously. I also think the Panthers have done that as well. The Bucs have made some decent moves. They've, maybe not made the best moves, but in terms of placing, I don't want to keep sounding like a homer and saying, yeah, the Saints will win the division. But I just can't, in good conscience, pick the Falcons to win the division. I just can't. And I don't think the Bucs will win it. So I think that the NFC South goes Saints, Falcons, and it might be Saints and Falcons in a similar situation to where the Saints and Bucs were, where it's like same record, but because of how things shook out, one team made it to the playoffs. And then Bucs, and then Panthers. And if Kirk Cousins gets hurt, wildly change it up. Saints, Bucs. I'll take Panthers, Falcons. I'm just not going to pick the Falcons to win the division. That's just not something I'm interested in doing. But what I am interested in doing is interacting with you on social media. If you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram. Again, want to give you guys an opportunity to talk with me more. We can do Twitter Spaces. We can interact on social media. And we can talk in front of a lot of other people and just, have a good time talking ball. So hit me up at TraceGerard48, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.